I am super behind on my goal to read 50 books so far this year. I think I've only read, 11 books, and I need to be on like 14 or something by now. So I'm gonna try to binge a few books this week. So the first book, the one I'm currently reading, and I'm gonna try to finish it, or I will finish it on this reading vlog, is QuickSilver by Callie Hart. I'm about 40% through with it so far. It's about a girl named Saris. So Saris steals something from a guard, and when she is getting away from the guard, she pulls a sword out and ends up taken into a fae realm. And when she gets there, they're in the middle of a war, and all she wants to do is return back to her village to be reunited with her brother, but she is stuck there until she completes her task, I guess. That's as much as I can say. I was really trying not to spoil it, so sorry if there's a few cuts. But it's super good so far. I don't know where the ending is leading to, which I love when I read books. Like, I always try to guess it, but with this one I haven't been able to guess where it's going to go. I'll try to give like non-spoiler updates throughout this vlog. Then, obviously I have to read this book. It just came out. I just got it from Target. So this is Sunrise on the Reaping by Suzanne Collins. This is Haymitch's book, and we already kind of know what happens during Haymitch's games, but this is like the full in-depth version of that, which I'm super, super excited about. Like, I remember reading the book and reading Haymitch's games, and I was like, rather than explaining what happened, why didn't they just make their own book of it? Because it was like, the ending's just so I love how he won his games. So I'm super, super excited about this. You will definitely get my reactions during it, and I heard everyone's like crying in this, so I'm hoping it doesn't put me in a slump though, because the next book I want to read, and this is one of my most anticipated reads, so is that one, this year, and it is The Charlie Method by Elle Kennedy. This is the third book in the Campus Diaries series, which is like another spinoff of Off Campus, and I actually have no idea what it's about. It's just, I really liked the last two in this series, so I am super excited to see how this one plays out too. And I feel like I've really been focusing on fantasy a lot. I really want a good romance book, and I hope this fulfills that. So these are the 3 books I'm going to try to read this week. This one's like almost like 650 pages. I'm hoping to at least talk about 2 of the books by the end of this reading vlog. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and let's get started. So I went from 182 to chapter 18, page 259. So I'm gonna start here and see how much I read in about an hour. I think I'm gonna try to read for, and then I'm going to clean my house and listen to the audiobook. So I just finished cleaning, and I've been reading for, like, I read the book for probably about an hour and a half, and then I cleaned for about another hour and a half. So it's been 3 hours, and I'm now on page 348, chapter 23. And I just wanted to share some of my thoughts so far. So this book, I feel like not that much happens, like, compared to other like fantasy books. These are like the type of fantasy books I think I do the best with though, because it's like even when stuff happens, it's like not written in a confusing manner, so I like really understand it. The dialogue is more about them two, with like the plot, I guess, falling more behind, like that's like not in the forefront as much, which I like those type of fantasy books because you still get experience the fantasy aspect without being like super overwhelmed or like confused and not following. Like, there's a decent amount of characters' names in this book, and I feel like if you told me like, oh, who's this, I'll be able to tell you who it is. Like, that's how much I'm like following. I like her writing, Callie Hart's writing. It's like super easy to follow, even though like I really feel like not that much has happened. It might have, I don't know, it just doesn't feel like it. And I'm like 60% way through the book now. It's like more sexual than I thought. Honestly, it feels like a little more sexual than ACOTAR. Maybe I need to reread it again. There are like sexual scenes every couple chapters rather than like a few scattered throughout the book. And I was cooking dinner the other night and my boyfriend, he came in and then a chapter came on where the whole chapter was pretty much about them like doing it. And I was like, oh my God, I need to put on headphones or I need to turn it off, because it was like, I don't mind reading it, but like I'm embarrassed if other people like hear it, because it's like pretty graphic too. I don't know. I hope if it's going to be a series, I hope it has like a really interesting ending to like make me want to read a second book of it. Because right now I'm not really sure if it's going to do that or not. Honestly, I would not be surprised if I finish this book tomorrow. So let's get back to reading. Hi guys. So I'm back today. It's Tuesday. It's 4:13 and I haven't read anything all day long. I think I only read like 2 more chapters than when I finished off yesterday, but I did get further than I wanted. So I wanted to get to page 350, I think. And I got to page 403. So my goal today is to just read 100 pages if possible. And I'm like really not feeling that motivated to read. I'm like kind of tired today. And whenever I'm tired, like, and I read, I just get sleepier. So about 9 more chapters. I'm hoping it only takes about like an hour or 2. And so hopefully I'm done by like 6:14. Okay, so I just finished the book. I'm a little out of it because I just like nonstop read for the past like 2 hours. But oh my gosh, I'm giving it a 5 out of 5 stars because I don't know, like initially when I was reading it, I was thinking like 4, maybe 4.5, but those 100, 200 pages are so full of like plot and like story. And it's less like dialogue, because I feel like most of this book, probably like 400 pages at least, is pretty dialogue driven. But the last like 100, 200 pages, so much goes down that I literally could not have guessed. And I'm so excited for the next book. I can't believe, I'm just like awestruck, I feel like, because I can't believe like all of that happened in such a short amount of time. So like, this is definitely a book, because I was looking at reviews and some people didn't really rate it that great. I saw some people like DNF at like 30%, and it's one of these books like, if you don't like dialogue driven books, you won't really like it, I feel like, because most of the book is that like 60-70% of it is that. But if you push through it, the ending's so good, and I definitely feel like the next book is going to be super plot driven, I feel like, because there's just so many unanswered questions that I think they're gonna fill in. And even with the end of this book, I still don't know like who's the main villain gonna be for the next book. I have no idea where it's going to go, which I'm like super excited about because I like books that like kind of keep me on my toes. Now let's get into the spoiler portion of the book review. I'm putting up timestamps so you can skip this point of the video, and let's get into those thoughts. So to start off, I had no idea that vampires and even other mythical creatures are going to be such a big part of this book. When I was reading, I was like, oh, human and fae, that's going to be the main thing. But then as the story went on, I feel like kept more and more and more creatures were getting introduced. And that ties into another thought, like humans, fae, vampires, gods, demons. Like if you're already including all of these differing creatures in the book, like what's going to be in the next book? Like I feel like she's just going to keep adding on, and like this world is going to have like so many different beings in it, especially because they have like the portal, the QuickSilver pool, where you can like go to different realms. I definitely feel like it opens a vast opportunity for the author to put whatever she wants in it. I mean, it takes you to any different realm. Like, and I think Fisher even said in the book, like, oh, like, you can't keep the portal open for that long because you don't know what's going to come through it. So I definitely think that's like foreshadowing for like one of the next books. Maybe not the second book, but like any of the books could include that in it, right? I had no idea the queen of Zilverin, I think that's called, like Madra, the king, Bellicon, and Malcolm were all aligned. Like, in my short little clips where I was talking about the book, I stated, like, I have no idea who the villain's gonna be. And then Malcolm was introduced, like, briefly, and I was like, it went over my head that, oh, he could be the villain in the end. But then he kept trying to go across, what was it, the lake, and they had to, like, crush the ice and stuff. Then I was like, oh, he's definitely the villain. But I had no idea the three of them were all going to be teamed up. Like, and now that Malcolm died, I still feel like there is a bigger, like, villain than Bellicon and Madra. I feel like we don't know it yet. Especially because, like I said earlier, with all the realms, there could be a villain in any of those other realms that's, like, the main overarching villain. And we just don't know it yet, right? Characters like Kyrian are my favorite type of characters because I love a good comedic relief character, but I had no idea that they were going to do that with his character. Like, his character development, like what he was at the start to what he became and what we've learned about him. I guess it's not development because he was it the whole time, but like the unraveling of his character, like the more we learned about him, I was like, oh my God, what? And I knew from the beginning of the book, I was like, oh, initially I thought Kyrian was the love interest. Like, I literally thought he was the guy on the cover because of how much they kind of brought him up in the beginning. And I was like, he has to be a bigger part of this book. And then she went to the Fae realm, and I was like, I guess I was wrong. But then when they said that they brought someone back, and it wasn't her brother or Elroy, I think that's his name, I knew. I was like, it's Kyrian. It's Kyrian. It has to be him. And it was. So, but because he's the comedic relief, I was like, the funnier he was, the more we learned about him, I'm like, he's dying. He is dying by the end of this book. Also, I didn't write this down, but a little off track of that is Rin and Lane. I don't know her full name. I can't remember it. But Rin and Lane, I think it's them two. I don't think it's Lorenth. I think it's Rin and Lane. I think they have something going on too. Like, I really think, like when she was bitten by the vampire, I was like, oh my gosh. And his reaction, I'm like, they are going to have something going on. Like, I swear they're either going to be together or be mates or like get married before the end of the series. I just have a feeling about them too. Maybe it's Lorenth and Lane, but I feel like Lane has a connection with one of the two, but more so Rin. Taladius, I don't know how to say his full name, but Tal was the vampire who changed Ceres. And they seem to be friends with Fisher. And I'm just curious, did I miss something? Or was it just like implied that they were friends from like his time being stuck with the vampires? Because when Tal was like lurking, like Fisher didn't try to attack him or anything. Like he was just talking to him and like, oh, like I can help, da 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 da. Tal was saying that, and Fisher was like open to it and he didn't seem like Tal was gonna harm her. So I feel like maybe I missed something because I think Tal was the one that was holding Lane when she was turning into a vampire and like holding her captive, and they seemed like they weren't really even that I didn't get the vibe that they were friends then either. I thought they were like more like enemies. So I don't know. I was a little confused on that part. I'm hoping like we learn more about the two of them and like what had occurred in the next book. And then like, I think I said this earlier, but I'm so curious where the book is going to go because the God of Chaos told her pretty much that her and Fisher would play like a major role in most of the universe like dying or ending pretty much. He like implied that heavily. And I'm like, okay. Like this first book is just like the start of the building blocks. into something way more vast that we have like no idea. Maybe it'll be like a war, or I don't know. Like, I have no idea where it's going to lead. But right when I was reading that, I was like, yep, that made me like, I have to read the rest of the book. And then he told her, like, if you don't want us changing your fate anymore, because she was supposed to be Fae, right? So if you don't want us to change your fate anymore like we'd done prior, then you need to become something that we can't detect. She was already becoming a vampire. Now he made her so she was half Fae, half vampire. Like I said earlier, I swore Carrion was going to die, which made me so happy that he is Fae. And not only is he Fae, but maybe I'm hoping I understood this right. He's Fae, but Fisher's dad took him to like the human realm to protect him because Malcolm was killing off his bloodline. Carrion is the heir to the throne. That's what I got. He's the heir to the throne, like Bellacon's throne is what I thought. But they never really touched on it after they kind of it said that, right? And even at the end of the book, Fisher was like, oh, I'll talk to you about it later, Carrion. And so like, I'm guessing it'll be in the next book where we'll learn more about it. So I'm super curious in this next book as well, if Carrion is going to try to like go for the throne and then Bellacan dies. They have a battle and Bellacan dies then, because I don't think he's going to give up the throne. But then I'm also confused, like, can they focus on that? And now Ceres is thrown to like the vampires. She's the queen because she killed Malcolm, so that makes her the queen and like the ruler. And I just find it hard if they're going to try to do both. Going into this book, I really had no idea what it was going to be about, and I'm super glad I picked it up. And now I think I'm going to read The Charlie Method by Elle Kennedy. So I'll probably pick it up later today, but I need a break for a few hours. Hi guys, so it is Thursday now. Yesterday I read to page 85 of The Charlie Method, and now I'm on page 105. So I read about 20 pages so far this morning. I actually didn't really even know that much about it. Every time I brought it up, I was just like, oh, this is the third book in the Campus Diary series. That's why I want to read it. So I had no idea who the book was about until I started reading. So Charlie is a Korean American who was adopted from Seoul, and she grew up in America. Her family is like super strict. They want her to achieve a lot in life, like most parents, but they're just more, I guess, on top of it. Charlie like feels this pressure to be this sort of daughter, even though it's not who she is entirely. Like, yes, she is a high achiever, but she has this, like, other side of her that, like, goes and likes to hook up with a bunch of guys. Like, secretly, though. And she tells the guys, like, after she hooks up with them, like, oh, if you see me in public, no, you don't. Don't talk to me. We don't know each other. So, like, she's really trying to hold up this image that she's, like, this perfect sorority girl, clean, smart, that type of image. And then she has an app solely, though, for just guy she wants to hook up with that she doesn't show her face on, and she matched with two guys. It's like a one profile, but two guys are on it, and they're called Lars and B, and so she's been talking to them. However, what she doesn't realize is that both of the guys she already knows, and they are hockey players at Briar. One is a guy in one of her classes that she absolutely hates, Beckett. And the other is one that she's now partnered with in one of her lab classes. It's like her lab partner now, and that's Will, who she really thinks is cute. So they haven't met up in person through the app. They're still just texting on it. I am very curious to see how it plays out when they do meet each other, because I have a feeling she's going to be like, nope, when she sees Beckett, like, get away, no. When I read the back, which I just never did prior, it seems like the main love in this book is going to be between Charlie and Will. So I'm curious how it's going to like play out with Beckett. those are a few of my thoughts. I'm going to start reading now, and then I'll give an update later. So I should have started recording more yesterday because I have read so much in the last 24 hours than I have for probably a few months, if I'm being honest. So yesterday I read about 200 pages. I got to like 280, I think, 300. And no, like 280 I think. And then today I've read about 150 pages, maybe a little less. I'm on like page like 415, 420, so almost 150. I'm gonna keep reading, but I just want to update you guys on a few things about the story. I still like it, obviously. I was tempted to finish it all yesterday, but my head was hurting. One thing I will say about the story is I feel like since it's a love story between 3 people instead of 2, and we're trying to learn the backgrounds of each person, I feel like they put like too much in. Like Charlotte has 2 things going on. She's adopted, so she's struggling with like feeling accepted by her adopted family, and then she also struggles with meeting up with her brother, and she like her real brother. And then on top of that, it's also like her sorority drama, and then on top of that, struggling with like her wanting to be a perfect girl and then wanting to be like more who she feels like she is, like more like a risk taker and doing stuff that maybe other people wouldn't like. And so that's only for Charlotte though. So I feel like we're unpacking a lot with just her, and I kind of wish they maybe would have cut something out within that, or changed something within that so it wasn't so much with Charlotte, because the story is also about Beckett and Will, and I feel like we don't get that in depth with either of them in the same way that we do with Charlotte. So that's probably my only drawback so far with the story. Initially though, I was reading the book thinking, okay, so she's gonna date these 2 guys and then she's gonna choose one, and the story is just, maybe she still will choose one. At the start of the book, I thought she was choosing one of the guys, and then halfway through the book it switched to the other, and then now this scene just happened, and now I'm thinking, oh my gosh, it's just gonna be one of those stories where she ends up with both of them, maybe? I have no idea. That'll be like a cool different twist that we haven't gotten in an Elle Kennedy book either. So I'm curious if she's gonna lean into that and like make them be like a throuple or not, or if she's gonna actually end up choosing one, or if they're just like none of them are going to end up together. I have no idea. But I wanted to do a quick update because I've been doing so bad with the updates today, and I'm probably going to finish the book tomorrow. I still have 120 pages left, but I have a movie tonight, so I don't think I'm going to be able to finish it. So it is currently Monday. I finished the book on Saturday. My boyfriend and I are touring wedding venues, and then he had a baseball game, and the weekend just got super hectic, so I haven't been able to pick up the camera, and I haven't started Sunrise on the Reaping either, so it's just been the Charlie Method that I have finished on Saturday, and then QuickSilver. I will say, I still think this is a 5 out of 5. My review hasn't changed because it provided that like romanticy that I've been missing in a lot of books. It kind of reminds me of like the ACOTAR, which I love that series. And then the Charlie Method, it's bridging between like 3.754. I think I'm gonna give it a 3.75 out of 5 because like as I discussed earlier, there was too much going on in the book, I thought, and then I kind of wish the book played, and this is just my personal thing, so I mean it shouldn't really affect the rating, it's just kind of what I wanted out of the book and then I didn't get, so it left me a little disappointed. I really wanted the book to play into the fact that she's dating two guys and like, and then maybe struggle with that decision. I felt like she never really struggled choosing between the two. It was kind of like, oh, these are my boyfriends, not like, it didn't play that much into like, oh, which one do I pick? Like, it just seemed from the entire time that she was just going to be with them both. And there were so many opportunities where like she had intimate moments with just Beckett and then intimate moments with just Will without the other one around. And I'm like, oh, like maybe it's going to make her feel pulled to one or the other more. But it was never like that. So I was kind of a little disappointed that the author didn't play into that, even if she wanted to stick with the ending that she gave. It would have just been a cool thing to incorporate and then take something else out of it. But yeah, I like how everything was wrapped up at the very end, and I like that her family, like, obviously they were accepting, and then I like that her brother and her sister both came out with other things, and then her adopted brother became more incorporated, and it might change if I think about it a little bit more, but currently I'm giving it a 3.75 out of 5. So this week I read 2 books total. I read QuickSilver by Callie Hart and The Charlie Method by Elle Kennedy. This is 1 book more than I normally read per week. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get to Sunrise on the Reaping. So what I think I'm going to do with that is turn that into a reading vlog like I did with Onyx Storm. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you're interested in this type of content or like day in the life or just anything bookish, please subscribe down below. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and I will see you guys next week. Bye!